Man, I said, he's promising a lot. I asked him, I said, what's it gonna cost me per head per day? And I said, well, it's equivalent to the other tub, so I'll try it. Brandon Wren in Texarkana, Arkansas. Got mama cows and we run a lot of stocker calves. We ship a lot of cattle here out of the south up to Minnesota and Iowa. So there's a culture shock. You know, there's some of these calves that leave a warm environment and as they're going north, may hit that front, you know, and it may be a 40, 50 degree swing. So those cattle need a little bit of a build up some strength. You know, Lauren had come down here, talked to us. Man, I said, he's promising a lot. I asked him, I said, what's it gonna cost me per head per day? And I said, well, it's equivalent to the other tub, so I'll try it. There was a sticker difference, but your per head per day was, I mean, you was in the ballpark. Plus your added savings of your mineral and somewhat hay savings. The cost of production was, I guess, somewhat better. Those stocker calves, I put it out there, some of them, it was late fall, and the cattle looked really nice. You know, they filled up. A lot of time, that time of year, there's a lot of not a lot of nutrition, especially energy in the grass, and these calves they were kind of rolling on there pretty good. Almost like they were being hand fed more so, and I wasn't having to put out the feed. We didn't start feeding hay till January the 2nd. You know, just had dormant Bermuda grass and they just kept eating it. And some of it was weather, you know, but there was a 30-day savings. A lot of the cattle we started feeding had a lot of older cows. If it had been, you know, an average running age cow, I'd have probably gone another couple of weeks. You know, because those cows were in good shape. It was just my older cows. I knew I needed not make them work as hard. One set of cows over here, because of the pecan orchards, we had to move them. This is late December, and we're going through those cows with hay, and they're just sitting there looking at us. They're not following the hay wagon or anything like that. So, you know, I thought they were pretty good. Just in hay, you'd probably been $40 to $50 a head, and then you got labor. It was worth a lot to me because we were harvesting pecans. I wouldn't have to feed those set of cattle and take up, you know, a couple of hours. We were here in the orchards picking up pecans. Your other tubs, I'm gonna say you'd be probably once a week. You know, these here 3, 4, 5 weeks, just depending. When your labor is spread thin, it sure helps. I can remember my grandparents long years ago, you know, they had a set of tire drags and manure piles are this tall, and they're going around trying to knock it down. But I don't do it. I mean, it dissolves. You know, you look up and most of it's gone. It's not as layered, you know, there's more protein going through them. You know, it's kind of like when the calves are on weed or ryegrass or the green forage, you know, shortly after you don't see as much manure because it's recycling back in the dirt. I think that's one big help in the stewardship. Weaning weights are a little bit higher. The shipping weights of grazing stockers was higher. You know, and that's got a lot of variability in the wetness and dryness of the year. But on average, you know, there was a little bit more pounds in the stocker calves. I mean, especially late summer. These steers were making 9 weights, and typically we don't ship too many 9 weights because they were already big in June. They weighed 900 in June, so we've already got rid of those cattle. But these calves kept on growing, you know, the leftovers. And so they were considerably heavier. I would have guessed 50, 75 pounds heavier. Round up figuring $2, $100, $150 pretty quick. When you're selling something that's showing a mineral background, you know, your feed yards, they know that the health is going to be better. And if somebody's going to that extent, they're typically better managers. I mean, they're going to be more aware of their vaccines and how they're stored and how they're administered. That's what you want. I mean, the feed yard, these guys, they're wanting to receive cattle and they're wanting them to feed. They're not wanting to doctor cattle or pool. You know, they're not wanting to stress, you know, so that if they have that mineral buildup, you know, they don't realize the stress. After seeing a lot of the hay savings, what I did this winter, I would agree with it. And then as well with the stockers, you know, and I wasn't having to go out there and feed them at that point, you know, and they're sitting there gaining, and it's just on those little tubs. Yeah, it pays for itself.